Hello students, I am Amit Agarwal, your teacher in this video. In this video, I will be teaching you about a topic from class 8th. This topic is finding square root of a number by long division method. I decided to take this topic because this topic is not present in the syllabus of class 9th to 12th mathematics. It is only present in class 8th. So I have observed that most of the students, they forget about this topic and they are not able to find square root of a number by long division method when they come in higher classes or when they sit in competitive exams. So this is the time for revision, friends. I will be teaching you this topic by taking 3 or 4 examples. This method is really useful for finding square root of those numbers which are not perfect squares or finding square root of decimal numbers. So let's start with the class, students. Okay, students, let's start with the class. First of all, we will take example number 1. This will be 625. Okay, now this number is a perfect square. And we know that for a perfect square, we can find the square root both by factorization method and by long division method. So first of all, we will revise the factorization method. Well, you must be knowing that this is how we solve by factorization method. So 625 will be equal to 5 into 5. This will be one pair. And then 5 into 5, the second pair. So root of 625 will be equal to this. And so root of 625 will be 5 into 5. 1 5 comes out from each pair. That is equal to 25. This is how we find square root by factorization method. Now we will just revise how we can find the square root of this number by long division method. Now in the long division method, starting from right side, that is from 5, and moving towards left, that is towards 6, we place bars over every pair of digits. That means when we start from 5, this is the one pair, 2 5, so we place one bar over them, and the remaining number is 6, so we place the second bar over 6. Now suppose this was not 6, this was let's say 46. So we would have placed the bar on 4 6 then, if the number was 4625, a 4-digit number. So we start from the right side and move towards left side. Okay. Now consider the number under first left bar. This is the first left bar, 6. Now think of the largest number whose square is less than or equal to 6. That will be 2. 2 into 2, 2 square is 4. Okay. The square of 2 is just less than 6. If we take 3, then 3 square, that is 3 into 3, that will be 9. That will become greater than 6. And if we take 1, so 1 into 1 will be 1, which will be quite less than 6. The difference will be much greater. So we have to take that number in this place whose square is less than, just less than or equal to 6. Now the remainder will be 2. 6 minus 4 equal to 2. And we bring down the number under next bar, that is 25 here, to the right of remainder. So the new dividend is new dividend is 225. Now the next step will be, this is the quotient up till now. We double this quotient, that is 2 into 2, and write it here 4. Now we have to put one digit here and another digit here. Suppose this digit is A. So 4A into this A, we have to take this product, and this should be just less than 225 or equal to 225. So if we take 5 here, we have to put the same number here. Then if we multiply 45 into 5, that will come out to be exactly 225. So we get 225 and remainder as 0. So when remainder is 0 and no more digits are left in the given number 625, then we stop. At this moment, the quotient gives us the square root. So quotient is 25. So that means under root 625 is equal to 25. This is the long division method. Now we will see few more examples to understand it properly. Okay, now we come to the example 2. Let's take the number 530. Now this is not a perfect square. So if we try to find its square root by factorization method, we won't be able to do it. Let's see. So we get 530 equal to 2 into 5 into 53. Now none of these digits are in pairs, so we can't find the square root of this number because 530 is not a perfect square. So the only way to find square root of this number is by long division method. That is why this method is very useful and a must for all the students, not only of 8th class, but also for students from 9th to 12th class, because they need to do calculations in mathematics or in physics, and they need to find square root of those numbers which are not perfect squares. So let's see how we will find the square root of this number by long division method. So we place 2 bars here starting from right and moving to left, and 1 bar over this number 5. Now as we learned in the previous example, we have to take that number whose square is just less than 5. So that will be 2 only here. 1 will be the remainder, and we bring down 30. So we get 130 here. Now we write here double of this number. So double of 2 is 4. So we write 4 here. Now we have to write one digit here and the other digit here, so that their multiplication of this number with this number is equal to 130 or just less than 130. So suppose we take 3 here. We can check 43 into 3 will be 129. So it is just less than 130. Now this we have to check by hit and trial method. With practice, we can develop the speed. Remainder will be 1. Now, in this case, because remainder is not 0 here, so the answer doesn't end at 23. We need to carry it forward in decimals. So now we put 1 decimal here and 1 decimal here. And we write 2 zeros in pair. Okay, this is the method. We have to write 2 zeros in pair. Now we bring both the zeros down here. It will be 100. And now here we will write double of 23, the quotient. So that will be 46. Like in the previous step, we wrote the double of 2, which was 4, because the quotient was 2 only. But for this step, the quotient is 23. So we wrote double of 23, 23 into 2, that is 46. Now again, we will follow the same step. We need to write 1 digit here and we need to write 1 digit here, so that the multiplication of this digit with this whole number should be equal to 100 or just less than 100. Now, if we take 1, 2, 3, the number will become greater than 100. So that's why we will take 0 here. So it will be, we will get remainder as 100 only. Now again, we will write 2 more zeros here. We have to write zeros in pairs. And again, bring those 2 zeros here. And now we will write the double of 230. That is 460, 46. Zero. We have to write double of 230 now here. That will be 230 into 2, 460, 460. Now again, we follow the same step. We have to write 1 digit here and 1 digit here, so that the multiplication of this whole number with this digit will give us something close to this number. For this, if we multiply, if we take here 2, so we will get 9224, which is just less than 10,000. When we will subtract, we get 776. So we get our answer in decimals, that 530 square root is equal to 23.02. This is the way to find square root of non-square numbers. And students, you should note that in case of non-square numbers, we do not get 0 as remainder at any stage. Okay, we can carry these steps further and get the answer further in decimals. But here we have calculated the final answer up to 2 decimal places only. Even if we carry it further, we will not get 0 as remainder at any stage. Now we will take one more example. That example will be finding square root of a decimal number. You will understand this topic much better then. Okay, we take example 3. Here, let us take a number 5.29. We will see how we can find the square root of this decimal number by long division method. Okay, I will just rub it out. Okay, our number was 5.29. So we will start from the right and moving towards left, we will form one bar over the two numbers, two digits, and then one digit will be remaining. We write the second bar. Now again, as we studied in the previous examples, we will write the number 2 here because square of 2 is 4, which is just less than 5. We get the remainder 1. We bring down 29. Here is decimal, so after quotient also we write the decimal. We write double of 2 here, that is 4. Again, we have to write one number, that is 3 here and 3 here. So 43 into 3 will be 129. So we get the remainder as 0 here. And as the remainder is 0, so that means we have got the final answer, which is root of 5.29 is equal to 2.3. That is the answer. So students, remember that we can get remainder 0 in case of decimals, but in case of non-square natural numbers, in case of natural numbers which are non-square, we do not get 0 as remainder. But in case of decimal numbers, we can get the 0 as remainder. Now suppose our number was 5.293, suppose, then how would we have proceeded further? Let's see. I will continue it on this question only. Suppose 3 was also here, okay, in the question. Now, how would we have proceeded? We had to start from the left and move towards right and form a pair. Now, students, here you have to remember one thing, that in case of decimal numbers, for decimal numbers, we place bar starting after decimal and moving to right. That means in the number 5.29, which we had taken earlier, here is the decimal. So we start from 2 and move towards 9. But in case of the digits before decimal, we move from left to right. Okay. So now in this case, 5.293, just after decimal, the number is 2. So we start from 2 and move towards 9. So this is our first bar. And in case of decimal numbers, after decimal, we won't put a bar on one single digit. So we will take 10 also here and take second bar as this. This is the way to put bars in case of decimal numbers. And in this number, just before the decimal, we will move from right to left and place only one bar over 5. Okay, so in this question, which we had already done, if we had taken 5.293, then our question would have become like this. Then how would we have proceeded further? The initial steps would have remained same, but here 30 would have come down. Now let's rub this thing. How would we have proceeded further? Now here we would write the double of 23, that is 46. Again, we can't write 1 or 2 because then the number would become greater than 30. So we will take 0. So 460 into 0 is 0 only. So that means we get here remainder as 0. Let's rub this thing. Now again we take two zeros here and put bars. These zeros come down. Okay. Now in next step we take the double of 230. That is 460. Again we had to take 0, because if we take greater than 0, then here the number would become more than 3000. Again here we get remainder as 3000 only. Now we take two more zeros and put bar. Let's rub this thing for your clarity. Now here again we will take double of 2300. That will be 4600. Now we have to choose one number here, and that number will also come here. And when we will multiply this whole number with this number, our answer will be just less than this number. Okay. By hit and trial, when you will check, this number will be 6. So we put, so when we will multiply you will get this number. And when you will subtract, you will get some number here. So we are not writing that number, because our purpose is solved. We have found the square root of 5.293 up to 4 decimal places. So that means, let me rub this thing. Square root of 5.293 is equal to 2.3006 up to 4 decimal places. So students, this is how we find the square root of decimal numbers, as we saw in example 2 and example 3. I know you must be finding it a bit difficult and confusing, because this topic is indeed a bit confusing. That's why students of class 8 don't understand it properly, and this topic is not given again in any of the further classes. So students actually never are able to do these calculations. But this is the revision time for you. Understand this question, and I will give you a few more practice questions now. You can practice them yourself. Okay, let's move to the next page. I will give you an exercise. Write down. You have to find square root. This is like exercise, practice exercise for you. Find square root of, the first number is 2.56. Second is 7.29. Third is 51.84. Fourth is 42.25. Fifth is 31.36. Okay, I will give you a hint. The hint is that remainder in all these parts will come out to be 0. That is a big hint for you. And I will also give you the answer so that you can match it after practicing it. The answers are For first part, answer will be 1.6. Second part, answer will be 2.7. Then third part, that is the square root of 51.84 will come out to be 7.2. For fourth part, square root of 42.25 will come out to be 6.5. And answer for fifth part will be 5.6. These will be the answers. So you can practice these 5 parts. This will give you a better understanding. Okay, students. So let's move to the end of the class. This is the end of the class. So students, now the class is over. I'm sure you must have understood this method. You need to practice it now so that you can do these calculations quickly without wasting any time. If you want to watch more of my academic videos, do subscribe to my channel. Bye for now. Take care, students.